By the way, do you have some idea for universal basic income in your country?
I can see in the Netherlands also, but they would be able to introduce
But
it.
not yet, right?
Not yet, not yet, not yet. I don't think we can
And
afford
how
it.
about the healthcare system? It's free?
It's not free. Actually, Japan's healthcare system is cheaper than the Dutch healthcare system.
That's what's going on.
Yeah. It's very cheap in Japan. Healthcare is extremely cheap.
Especially elderly people like me, very cheap. So every hospital, maybe elderly people.
Yeah,
So we have a good system here.
yeah.
Yeah, very good system.
Maybe too good, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
very good.
Also, education system not so expensive, right?
No, it's more expensive than the Netherlands. We have our education system is much cheaper.
How much pay for university?
About
fee.
$2,000 per year.
Oh, very cheap.
And mind you, all the universities are in the top 200 universities in the world. All of them.
Very cheap.
So the universities are very good, and the price is very cheap.
Unlike you in the US.
Unlike the US. US has top universities.
You have
but
to
then,
pay more
and
money.
then, yeah, you have to pay a lot of money.
So Japan is like Holland, so Netherlands.
Really?
Yes.
Japan still
Right?
no.
But Japan has a-
No, Japan is not expensive recently.
Like if you are smart, you get into better universities in Japan. It's like that in
Actually,
in the Netherlands,
in the
right?
Netherlands, we only have public universities. We don't have private
Public?
universities.
Oh, you don't private university?
We don't have private universities.
Oh,
Not
okay.
one.
Public
All
university
public.
in Japan is cheap. I agree with you. Private university very expensive, right?
Yeah. So, but the top universities in the United States, they are very expensive,
Right,
but
right.
they have very high quality.
Right.
In the Netherlands, there are only public universities, and the price of every university is the same.
Oh, okay.
So you pay about $2,000 per year for tuition fee, and you can go to any university you want. So you can be a medical doctor or a lawyer or economist or a scientist. It doesn't matter. The price is the same.
But this is currently in the States, university fees cause social problem. Because
here in
after
Japan.
graduate, they borrowed money from bank. They can't
Cannot, yeah. Especially in the beginning of your career.
pay
I
back.
mean,
They
yeah.
cannot pay back those money, even if they are working. It's a social problem.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
You need to, and there's a lot of like super rich people, philanthropists, who are now doing something about it. There was last month there was a philanthropist who went to his alma mater, his university that he graduated from, and he announced that for everyone in that year he would pay off their student loans. Everyone.
Everyone.
Yes. It's amazing.
Which university?
I don't remember. I don't remember. But if you Google it, definitely it will come up. That must cost this guy.
I think
a lot of money.
we need to the major concern is inequality of people, right? And also the large IT company like Amazon, Google, got this too much, right? And okay, we need to consider how to redistribute those inequalities, money, income, so forth. But the other concern is how they're going to get rich in the past 10 years. And they got money year by year, big growth, 20% annual growth. So China understand why American IT industry grows so rapidly. So they set up the 2025 manufacturing message as a country, right? So we need to consider what kind.
Why did they get rich?
Yeah.
That's a good question. But so the answer is actually not that difficult. I think for most of these industries, not all of them, market dominance.
Not only market dominant. Why they get money? Not only market dominant. The just system how to get money, IT background.
Well, like, if you look, for example, at Google didn't make money in the beginning, but they got financing until they finally found something that worked. But everything is based on market dominance. The same for Facebook. The same for for a lot of other platforms like Airbnb とか。Well, Airbnb was more or less financing itself.
No, Airbnb is based upon AI, right? AI, much system oriented.
It's they're using AI technology for well, I don't know even if it qualifies as AI, but they're using a lot of advanced technology and a lot of data to drive people to the right.
I tell you, I find out I started coding since June. I found out one thing is I try to use Amazon AWS package, and they can develop system 1/5 of the cost and time period. Okay, 1/5. So Japanese banking system they may spend 100 million US dollars to 2,000 million US dollars, and but now is using Amazon AWS. They can build one piece, so 400 million. So Japanese company does not know because Japanese company system old-fashioned. They don't know
Well,
what
I think in Japan people basically don't want to put anything in the cloud that doesn't live in Japan. That's one of the problems.
What do you mean?
Every company that I talk to, they don't want to put their data in a data center that doesn't sit in Japan. They see
No,
that
this is simple. Just ask them to build data center in Japan. No problem. If you're going to make investment for 100 million, and Amazon will do it. They have a data center in Tokyo.
Must have, not because it's
they
cheaper,
have.
but because it's a requirement.
But currently they spend 2,000 million US dollars for building their banking system. Now they can make it 400 million new one.
Yeah, so
actually they only maintenance 200 million annually. Why not they try to make investment for?
But that's why Amazon doesn't have to pay any tax because they invest all the revenue into these infrastructures to get even
Just
more.
I told you, it's even if you don't like Amazon, the strategy tactics, but you try to get the advantage, method, and we try to get a copy of their asset they develop. Then we can develop for the more cheaper system. Like Airbnb, they try to utilize kind of AI technology. So, like Mr. Son he's clever. He's just making investment for the company which develop using AI, right? So this is growth for their company. So we need to every company or American company much more focus on AI technology, try to changing current system converting AI.
Why do companies like Airbnb and Uber make so much money?
They got a more advanced AI technology. Try to consider for the more convenient closer to customer.
I think it's different. That's not the answer. I think the answer is that they are making advantage of the fact that the law is lagging behind. That basically the hotel industry and the taxi industry is highly regulated and legalized. And they take the legal system out and they create a system that put consumers in direct contact with each other without having the law. Now they can benefit from that and put a platform that put consumers in direct contact with each other, and then they don't have to pay all these taxes, don't have to obey all these regulations, but the law ultimately will catch up. So what happened in Japan last year is basically just catching up. The market for Airbnb has matured enough for the regulators to step in and say, hey, wait a minute, something is wrong here. Now the same thing is happening with Uber.
But this is a fundamental AI capable for those issues, right?
Yeah, but I don't think AI is the critical factor here.
Yeah, I understand, but this is the background of the infrastructure for their base to consider to break through the current business, right? I understand.
Well, AI helps them to get more profit, to make it more efficient.
I tell you, the banking system maybe they are not based on system. Okay, they just a lot of things they need to consider. But if they're going to as soon as they consider for the AI background or like kind of a different background of developing system, and they can build 1/5 of investment cost, maybe they can drastically reducing the cost for the AI in the system area, and they should do that instead of criticizing Amazon. or Facebook and Google, why not utilize their system?